At the heart of Port Charles, where secrets often simmer beneath the surface until they explode under the spotlight, a long-awaited truth finally pierced the veil of silence. For months, fans of General Hospital have speculated, hoped, and theorized about the mystery of Gio's parentage. But no one could have foreseen the searing intensity of the moment when the young virtuoso himself unraveled the secret on his own terms, and in front of the entire town. The May 22, 2025, episode of General Hospital wasn't just another chapter in the lives of the citizens of Port Charles, it was a seismic event. As the nurses' ball continued in its dazzling and unpredictable fashion, one of its most promising young performers, Gio, was navigating more than just the pressure of competition. After receiving his performance rating from the judges following his violin solo, he prepared to move into the next round, a tango performance with Anna and Chase. But the harmony of his life was about to be shattered in the most unexpected and public way imaginable. Gio's day took a turn when he realized he had forgotten his headphones. He was directed to retrieve them from Lois, unaware that his path would lead straight into the heart of a cover-up that had defined his very identity. Backstage, in a moment of raw confrontation, Lulu confronted Lois about the truth she had helped bury for years. Her voice cracked with both fury and betrayal as she forced Lois into a confession. Gio wasn't the son of Camilla and Francis Palmieri. He was the child of Dante Falconeri and Brooke Lynn Quartermain. And just outside the dressing room door, unbeknownst to them both, Gio stood frozen, absorbing every syllable. The words didn't just echo in his ears, they detonated in his chest. Overwhelmed, Gio vanished. The spotlight that was supposed to illuminate his musical prowess now threatened to expose his deepest vulnerability. As the event organizers scrambled, and whispers of his disappearance circulated, it was Emma who found him, not in a rehearsal room, but alone, perched on the terrace, staring into the night like a boy suddenly unmoored from the only life he thought he knew. He was shaken, but not broken. With Emma by his side, he made a decision. He would perform. Not because he had to, not because the crowd demanded it, but because music was his anchor, and perhaps the only gift that truly belonged to him. "My mother gave me music," he told Emma, "and I need to honor that." As the crowd waited in hushed anticipation, Gio stepped onto the stage with quiet defiance. At first, the notes flowed from his violin with their usual grace, his fingers dancing across the strings with practiced confidence. But midway through the piece, his playing faltered, not from lack of skill, but from the emotional storm rising within him. He lowered his bow and stepped up to the microphone. The silence that followed was thick, electric. "This performance," Gio began, his voice steady yet strained, "is for my parents, Brooke Lynn Quartermain and Dante Falconeri." Gasps rippled through the audience like a wave. Murmurs, disbelief, even stifled cries came from those who knew, those who suspected, and those who were blindsided by the announcement. Gio's words cracked like thunder. "You didn't want me, you didn't raise me, but I still carry you both with me. And this music, this is the only part of you I ever got." With that, he raised his violin, not to play, but to bring it crashing down on the stage. The sound of wood splintering rang through the ballroom like a final note of rebellion. The aftermath was immediate. Dante, eyes wide with disbelief and pain, turned to Brooke Lynn, whose tear-streaked face betrayed both guilt and anguish. In that one look, 1,000 questions passed silently between them, questions of why, of when, of how. But none were answered. In the audience, faces familiar to fans, Anna, Chase, Olivia, and even Sunny, sat in stunned silence. The truth wasn't just a personal revelation, it was a rupture in the collective consciousness of Port Charles. Every bond, every assumption, every carefully curated lie was now under scrutiny. Backstage, Lois remained rooted in place, visibly trembling. She had tried to shield Gio from the truth, tried to protect her daughter, but in doing so had built a powder keg that had now exploded in spectacular fashion. Lulu, still processing her own role in the confrontation, looked on with a conflicted mix of triumph and regret. She hadn't intended for Gio to find out this way. No one had. And Emma, standing quietly in the wings, looked on with the solemn understanding of someone who had just witnessed the boy she cared about lose everything, and perhaps find a piece of himself in the wreckage. The implications of Gio's revelation promised to echo far beyond the nurses' ball. Questions will be asked, loyalties tested, and old wounds reopened. What did Dante know, and when did he know it? Why did Brooke Lynn remain silent all these years? How will the Quartermaines and Falconeries react to this earth-shattering development? And most importantly, how will Gio, young, talented, and heartbroken, rebuild the life that was just shattered before his eyes? In Port Charles, the past never stays buried for long. And when the truth finally surfaces, it demands its own kind of justice. One thing is certain. General Hospital has just set the stage for its most emotionally explosive arc in years. And the music, as Gio reminded everyone, can be both a bomb and a weapon.